Today we are going to start with the origin and evolution of angiosperms. This is one of the important chapter that deals with the origin of angiosperms. But when we look into in the history, this origin of angiosperm can be considered as the unsolved mystery. The reason is that there are inadequate fossil records. We didn't understand its monophyletic or the polyphyletic origin. However, we can say that angiosperms are more natural group and contains the character which make them unique all over the vascular plants. So here you can observe that there are many theories has been put forward for determining the origin of angiosperms. Still, the question is that the angiosperms are monophyletic or polyphyletic. So for that purpose, we must have to understand what is the monophyletic origin and what is the polyphyletic origin. Whether the angiosperms, if they are monophyletic, means consisting of all the descendants of angiosperms were derived from a single ancestor. So this can be considered as a monophyletic origin. Or we can say there are the monocotyledons, dicotyledons, or they can be originated from the different origins and does not have the common ancestor. In such cases, we can say it is the polyphyletic origin. Here you can observe the dendrogram regarding the monophyletic taxon, where we can find these taxa are originated from this common ancestor. So here this one is considered as the monophyletic origin, where they have been separated at the time of evolution. But at the same time, here you can observe that the polyphyletic origin and monophyletic origin in comparison. This dendrogram indicates these are the monophyletic group which are originated from this common ancestor, but this ancestry again traced down and they can be diverted the polyphyletic origin for the other groups also, other taxons also. So in such cases, this blue group is known as the paraphyly, or we can say the polyphyletic origin, because these two groups are from the different origins. But here, this is the common ancestry for the monophyletic genera. So likewise, we can say that when there is the common ancestry for any taxon, it is monophyletic, and where there are the multiple origin points, it can be considered as the polyphyletic in origin. Here you can clear cut, you can get the idea about what is the polyphyletic and the paraphyletic origin. See here, this is the common ancestry of the polyphyletic groups. Here you can understand that from here these two groups have been separated. One group led to paraphyletic or the polyphyletic origin, and one group led to the monophyletic origin. Now this is the common ancestor. In the fossil record, we didn't get this type of the common ancestor for all. Here it is the common ancestor for E, F, G. So these are the groups where we can understand these three different groups are there. Now here, this A, which is showing on the blue line, so it is a separate group. This particular group belongs to the monophyletic origin, but the similarity has been shown along with the A and B. Here this group, particularly B, C, D, is of the paraphyletic origin, where we can say that this group indicates the common ancestor and some are not. A is not belonging to the common ancestry. So ancestors, descendants are B, C, D. This is the common ancestry for that. The another group, which is known as the polyphyletic group, where E and F and G, which is shown in the similar color. But here the origin for this is not common, and it can be the polyphyletic in origin, which can be shown in the yellow box and does not include any common ancestor for the group. So this type of the origin is considered the polyphyletic origin, where we can find this H, Hij are originated from this common point. So this type of the Hij taxon can be considered as a monophyletic because all they are having the common ancestry. This pink group have the common ancestry and this blue group have the common ancestry. But this yellow doesn't have the common ancestry, and because of that, we know it as a polyphyletic in origin. When we talk about the monophyletic origin, this view is typically based on the fact that present angiosperms shows remarkable consistency in their characters. We can say that all the characters regarding the anatomical features, then staminal characteristic, epidermal, endothelial characteristic of the anther wall, then double fertilization and triple fusion and formation of the endosperm. So these are the characters which can be considered as a monophyletic in group, monophyletic in origin. The monophyletic origin of angiosperm is also supported by the Hickey and Doyle on the basis of their studies of the monosulcate pollen. So these are some of the characters on the basis of what we can say these are angiosperms may be of the monophyletic origin. Whereas Dahlgren believes that the ancestor of the present angiosperms was the gymnospermous member. So these are the considerations of the scientists, and they have studied regarding its monophyletic origin. There are several phylogeneticists, including Cronquist, Hughes, then James, Krasilov, and Muse. So these are argued that the angiosperms are polyphyletic. Whereas we can say these are the Dahlgren, Hickey, and Doyle. They considered it as a monophyletic origin, but many scientists, just like the Cronquist, James, Krasilov, so these are always considered that they are the polyphyletic origin, because the dicots and monocots, they might have been originated from the different primitive stocks. And on the basis of that, these scientists have been considered they are originated from the different origins, and so they can be the polyphyletic origin. And this type of the evolution, continuous polyphyletic origin and their evolution parallelly, it is considered as the convergent type of the evolution. This theory particularly supports the whatever fossil records we have. On the basis of that, we can consider, so this can be on the polyphyletic origin. This polyphyletic origin is also supported by the fact that the primitive orders of the angiosperms from monocots and dicots, they do not show close relationship. So because of that, we can consider them as two different lines of origin, and it can be considered as a polyphyletic origin, because dicots and monocot doesn't have the common ancestor or a set of similarities in their groups. Then what is polyphyletic origin? When we talk about the fossil records are available to promote this type of the theory or the polyphyletic origin of the angiosperms, these monophyletic and polyphyletic groups, families, they are mostly found in angiosperms at the polyphyletic origin, because there is no similarity between the characters. Recently, the phylogenetic analysis using the we can say nuclear, mitochondrial, and plastid gene sequences also have clarified that relationship between the various groups is on the polyphyletic origin. The monocots and eudicots, the primitive dicots you can say, these are all supported as the being monophyletic. The angiosperms as a whole were found to be the monophyletic to the exclusion of the gymnosperms. The जिम्नोस्पर्म हा ग्रुप जर आपण बाजूला काढला तर हा सगळा ग्रुप आपल्याला एका ओरिजिन पासून डेव्हलप झालेला दिसतो. There are basically 7 theories put forward. That is Isoetis monocotyledon theory, then conifer and amentiferous theory, Nettles and angiosperms theory, Benedictine theory, then Ketoniellian theory, pteridosperm theory, and pentoxylase theory. These are the 7 theories which are more prominent to understand here what type of the origin that angiosperms may have. So we can go for one by one. First, we have to discuss the Isoetis or monocotyledon theory. Isoetis, we know this is the pteridosperms genus. You can find here it's typical the hydrophyte. root-like structures, and the particularly angiosperm-like habit. These isoetals or lycopodials, just take the example of ferns. These are the groups of plants of the pteridophyte, have shown possess many common characteristics of the monocotyledons. Because of that, Engler and his associates, his co-scientists, have postulated the monocotyledons have originated from the various types of the groups of the pteridophytic origin, and they are hypothetical herbaceous intermediate of the proangiosperms. Pro means first. So before developing into angiosperm-like structures, there can be a set of characters which can be considered as a proangiosperms, where we can find the pteridospermous characters and angiospermous character. A proper mixture of those characters can be observed in the proangiosperms. According to Campbell, in 1928, the herbaceous angiosperms are considered as a primitive, and those are inherited from the Felician ancestors. He also pointed out that the isoetes in the living herbaceous genus show a possible relationship between the monocotyledons. So these are the postulations have been given by the Campbell, where Campbell always suggested that the isoetes show the similarity with the monocotyledons. Just take the example of Najas faexilis with regard to its habitat. Though they are looking like a flower-like structure, but we can say that it doesn't having the fossilized records, and because of that, this hypothesis is still not supported. But the lycopodials and equisetals are now considered as a completely separate and independent evolutionary lines. Today's consideration about the lycopodials and equisetals are nothing but the two different independent evolutionary lines are there. And because of that, the monocots are now considered to be the more advanced than the dicotyledons, as we know. And because of that, their resemblance with the isoetes is the superficial in nature. The character or the morphological similarities are not truly coming through the evolutionary lines, but they are the superficial, the environment actions where we can development of such characters can be taken place. Then second theory is the conifer and amentiferous theory. Now, what is the relation between conifers and amentiferous? Here you can observe that these are the female cones where we can find the pendulous type of the cones are there, and the amentiferous group of the plant. Here also we find the pendulous type of the inflorescences. These are the common observable similarities. According to this theory, the higher gymnosperms like the conifers like Pinus, where we can find these are the conifers or chordates are other considered as the probable ancestors of the angiosperms. Today, as we know, gymnosperms are considered to be the possible. The Engler and Rendell found that the similarities of angiosperms with the conifers and considered that the amentiferous group, take the examples of Casuarinaceae, Fagaceae, Salicaceae, these are the most primitive dicots. Okay? These primitive dicots which can be shown here. So these are the having the similarities in that, and because of that, the conifers and amentiferae can be the allied group of the possible origin of the angiosperms is there. What are the similarities then? There are some similarities between these two groups. Amentiferous members and the coniferous members have some similarities. What are the similarities are those? These are the flowers where we can find the amentiferous members resemblances with the conifer. Flowers are simple and naked like the conifer. आता conifer मध्ये काय आहेत? Male and female, जसं megasporophyll आणि macrosporophylls, and they doesn't have any protection. They are just open to air. आणि flowers are simple like the naked conifers. Conifers मध्ये मायक्रोस्पोरोफिल आणि मेगास्पोरोफिल आहेत, तर अमेंटिफेरस ग्रुपमध्ये त्या फॅमिलीज मध्ये आपण पाहतो की single stamen can be considered as a male flower. Single gynoecium can be considered as a female flower. You can find a single stamen can be considered as a male flower. The stamens of Amentiferae are like that of the bisporangiate microsporophylls in the conifer. म्हणजे कोनिफर मध्ये जसं बायस्पोरेंजिएट मायक्रोस्पोरोफिल्स असतात. मायक्रोस्पोरोफिल मध्ये काय आहेत? अ सिंगल लीफ लाईक स्ट्रक्चर वेअर यू कॅन फाइंड द दॅट स्पोर पॉकेट्स, ज्याला आपण स्पोरेंजियम म्हटलेलं आहे, आणि त्या स्पोरेंजियम मध्ये ते डायरेक्ट स्पोर असतात. आता तेच आपण जर इकडे स्टेमन मध्ये बघितलं तर काय असतात? अँथर सेल्स आर देअर अँड इन अँथर सेल वी गेट द पोलन ग्लॅन्ड्स. So these are the male gametes in both the cases, and they are just similar in the both the groups. The seeds are covered in the angiosperms, which have also been found in the Orocaria and agathics of the gymnosperms. आता Orocaria म्हणजे आपण तुम्ही बघितलेलं आहे सांताक्लॉज ट्री. आता जस्ट क्रिसमस होऊन गेला. सांताक्लॉज ट्री इज द जीनस ऑफ Orocaria. ठीक आहे. सो दिस Orocaria, the seeds are covered in angiosperms. आणि जसे आपण म्हणतो ना ओव्ह्युल्स आर क्लोज्ड, आपलं अँजिओस्पर्मचं पहिलं कॅरेक्टर ते आहे. तर जिम्नोस्पर्म मध्ये ऑरोकॅरिया आणि अगॅथिस हे दोन जेनेरा असे आहेत की ज्याच्यामध्ये सीड्स आर क्लोज्ड, ओव्हरीज आर क्लोज्ड इन टू द ओव्हरी वॉल. तर अशा पद्धतीचे कव्हर्ड सीड्स आपल्याला ऑरोकॅरियामध्ये बघायला मिळतात. ड्युरिंग द फर्टिलायझेशन इन द अगॅथिस अँड ऑरोकॅरिया वी फाइंड दॅट द कोनिफर्स where the pollens are deposited on the scale and only the pollen tubes enter into the micropyle. This picture is just similar to the angiosperm. Angiosperm मध्ये काय होतं? जेव्हा स्टिग्मावर पोलन ग्रेन पडतो, फ्रॉम स्टिग्मा there is a generation of pollen tube. It passes through the style and just fertilizes the ovary or the ovule inside. सो दिस फीचर इज कॉमन फीचर. आता याच्यामध्ये काय झालेलं आहे? अगॅथिस आणि ऑरोकॅरियामध्ये त्या लीफ सरफेसवर पोलन डिपॉझिट होतात अँड द पोलन ट्यूब्स गो थ्रू दॅट अँड एंटर इन टू द मायक्रोपायलर एंड. सो इट इज जस्ट अ कॉमन फीचर वेअर वी कॅन फाइंड इन द कोनिफर्स अँड द एंजिओस्पर्म्स. सो निटेल्स अँड एंजिओस्पर्म थेअरी. आता निटेल्स हा ग्रुप कुठला आहे? निटमुला आपल्या सगळ्यांना माहित आहे. You already have been studied in gymnosperms nitels. So this nitum is considered as a living fossil today because very few plants are there. Around 200 plants are available all over the world. So it is considered as a living fossil, and their reproduction through either seeds or by tissue culture or any other method. आणि त्याचं मल्टिप्लिकेशन प्रोपगेशन होत नसल्यामुळे त्याला आपण लिव्हिंग फॉसिल असं त्याला आता कन्सिडर केलेलं आहे. ठीक आहे. So nitels and angiosperm theory. Here you can find these are the inflorescences of the nitels. असा inflorescence तुम्हाला कुठे बघायला मिळतो? Lamiaceae. So these are the some of the characters. Richard von Wetzstein has emphasized on the close relationship between the angiosperms and the nitels. After modifying the Engler's classification system, he mentioned that this particular phenomena in his book, that is the Handbuch der systematic botanic. Later, Markgraf and the Fagerling, they also supported this view regarding the similarities between the nitels and the angiosperm group. म्हणजे जिम्नोस्पर्म आणि अँजिओस्पर्म मध्ये ज्या सिमिलॅरिटीज आहेत, तर याला सपोर्ट मॅग्राफ आणि फोजरलँड यांनी सुद्धा केलेला आहे. सो फोजरलिंग डेमॉन्स्ट्रेटेड द होमोलॉजी अलॉंग द 3 जेनेरास लाईक निटेल्स. निटेल्स मधले एफेड्रा, वेल्वेस्चिया आणि निटम या 3 जेनेराच्या ज्या सिमिलॅरिटीज आहेत, होमोलॉजी, सिमिलर कॅरेक्टर्स बिटवीन दॅट, अँड प्रपोज द निटेल्स अँड द प्रो अँजिओस्पर्म्स इव्हॉल्व्ड फ्रॉम द कॉमन अँसेस्टर. आता आयसोइटिस मध्ये सुद्धा आपण बघितलं की तिथं प्रो अँजिओस्पर्मचा उल्लेख झालेला होता, म्हणजे टेरिडोस्पर्मस टू अँजिओस्पर्म ओरिजिन, आणि दुसरी आता जी येते ती जिम्नोस्पर्म टू अँजिओस्पर्म ओरिजिन, ज्याच्यामध्ये हा प्रो अँजिओस्पर्म सुद्धा डेव्हलप झालेला असू शकतो. तो कुठल्या ग्रुपमधून? तर निटेल्स पासून तो ग्रुप डेव्हलप झालेला असू शकतो, असं यांचं म्हणणं आहे. व्हॉट आर द सिमिलॅरिटीज बिटवीन निटेल्स अँड अँजिओस्पर्म्स? In Welwitschia, we find the male flowers are actually bisexual formed by the reduction in the female organs. आता इथं काय होते? वेल्वेशिया या जेनेरामध्ये मेल फ्लावर्स आर ऍक्च्युअली बायसेक्शुअल फ्लावर्स, म्हणजे तिथं रेमनंट्स ऑफ द प्रेझेन्स ऑफ ओव्हरी इज देअर, बट धिस ओव्हरी इज रिड्यूस्ड अँड we can say that it is the non-fertile organ for that particular flower, आणि म्हणून त्याला आपण कन्सिडर करतो फक्त मेल फ्लावर म्हणून. So these male flowers are actually result due to the reduction in the female organs or the carpel. The stamens of Ephedra, Welwitschia and Netum are apparently similar to the angiosperm. आता angiospermचा जो अँड्रोशियम आहे तो तुमच्या लक्षात येईल. अँथर सेल्स आहेत, फिलामेंट आहे, ठीक आहे, आणि त्याचं कनेक्टिव्ह आहे. सो दिस इज द बेसिक स्ट्रक्चर ऑफ द अँड्रोशियम इन द अँजिओस्पर्म्स. ह्याच पद्धतीचा दिसणारा the external appearance of the androecium is also found in the Ephedra, Welwitschia and Netum, where we can say these are just a primitive type of the androecium which can be observed in these Nettles group. These are the well-developed micropolar tube is there. Just we can say that elongation of the inner envelope of the ovule is taken place. आणि त्याच्यामुळं मायक्रोपॉइलर ट्यूब ही त्याच्यामध्ये डेव्हलप झालेली आपल्याला दिसते. वेअर ऑन फ्लॉवर्स लाईक अ स्टाईल ऑफ एंजिओस्पर्म. आता ही जी ट्यूब इथं तयार झालेली आहे कशामुळं? एलॉंगेशन ऑफ द इनर एनव्हलप ऑफ द ओव्ह्यूल. ही मायक्रोपॉइलर ट्यूब इथं कशासारखी दिसते? इट लुक्स लाईक द स्टाईल ऑफ द एंजिओस्पर्म इन फ्लॉवर. आणि त्याच्यामुळं दिस कॅन बी कन्सिडर एज अ सिमिलॅरिटी because angiosperms are slightly less advanced than the gymnosperm आणि त्याच्यामुळं less advanced features are considered here due to the similarities. Then female gametophyte of the Netum is tetrasporic and without archegonia like angiosperms. आता याच्यामध्ये काय झालेलं आहे? फिमेल गॅमेटोफाइट जो आहे नीटम मधला, सो इट इज अ टेट्रास्पोरिक इन नेचर अँड विदाउट आर्केगोनिया. आता आर्किओगोनियल फीचर्स हे आपण कशामध्ये बघितलेले होते? दीज आर नॉर्मली ऑब्झर्व इन द आयदर इन द टेरिडोफाइट्स और इन द ब्रायोफाइट्स. सो दिस आर्किओगोनियल लाइक स्ट्रक्चर्स कॅन बी absent in the angiosperms. Okay. Then what are the differences between the Nettles and the angiosperms? Now Netum have the vessels in the secondary wood, while it is absent in the primitive dicots like the tetracentron, then ट्रोकोडेंड्रॉन. हे जे जेनेराज आहेत ते याच्यामध्ये आपल्याला हे ऍबसेंट असलेले दिसतात, जे प्रिमिटिव्ह जेनेराज आपण म्हणतो. पण नीटम मध्ये ज्या वेसल्स आहेत त्या सेकंडरी वूड मध्ये प्रेझेंट आहेत, तेच प्रायमरी डायकॉट मध्ये त्या सेकंडरी वूड मध्ये आपल्याला दिसत नाही. द वेसल्स ऑफ नीटेल्स ओरिजिनेट इन अन एंटायरली डिफरंट वे फ्रॉम दोज ऑफ द अँजिओस्पर्म्स. आता वेसल ज्या ओरिजिनेट झालेल्या आहेत तर त्या ट्रकेट्स पासून आपल्याला ते डेव्हलप झालेले दिसतात. रेज अँड ट्रकेट्स आर द प्रिमिटिव्ह कॅरेक्टर्स इन द जिम्नोस्पर्म्स अँड हिअर इन अँजिओस्पर्म दिस वेसल्स आर मोर ऍडव्हान्स्ड. तर ती ओरिजिन आपल्याला इथं डिफरंट वेगळ्या पद्धतीने झालेली दिसते. ठीक आहे. द प्रेझेन्स ऑफ स्कॅलरीफॉर्म पिटेड ट्रकेट्स इट इज द कॅरेक्टरिस्टिक ऑफ प्रिमिटिव्ह अँजिओस्पर्म्स विच इज ऍबसेंट इन द प्रायमरी अँड सेकंडरी झायलेम ऑफ द नीटम. आता हे डिसिमिलॅरिटी आहे. नीटम ह्या जेनेरामध्ये काय झालेलं आहे, त्याच्या प्रायमरी आणि सेकंडरी झायलेम मध्ये आपल्याला ट्रकिड्स, स्कॅलरीफॉर्म पिटेड ट्रकिड्स हे त्याच्यामध्ये दिसत नाहीत. सो दे आर ऍबसेंट इन द नीटम. सो दिस इज द डिसिमिलॅरिटी. वेल द सर्क्युलर बॉर्डर्ड पिट्स अपेअर इन द नीटम. त्याच्या ऐवजी त्याच्यामध्ये काय आहे, त्याच्यामध्ये सर्क्युलर बॉर्डर्ड पिट्स आहेत विच आर प्रेझेंट इन द नीटम ड्युरिंग द ऑन्टोजेनी ऑफ द सेकंडरी झायलेम. ना त्याच्यानंतरची तिसरी थेअरी आपली आहे जी आहे, इट इज द बेनेटिटिलियन थेअरी. आता बेनेटिटिलियन थेअरी काय आहे? दिस इज अगेन अकॉर्डिंग टू सापोटा अँड मॅरियन, द आर्बर आणि पार्किन ह्या सायंटिस्टनी इट इज कन्सिडर एज द बेनिटिटेल्स ऑफ द जिम्नोस्पर्म. म्हणजे आपला आधीचा जो ग्रुप होता तो निटेल्स होता. निटेल्स ही जी ऑर्डर आहे तर निटेल्स ऑर्डर कॅन बी द प्रिमिटिव्ह फॉर the angiosperm or the origin from the origin of the angiosperm. त्याच्यामधलं जिम्नोस्पर्मची दुसरी ओरिजिन आहे ती आहे बेनेटिटिलियन ओरिजिन. बेनेटिटिलियन इज अनदर ग्रुप फ्रॉम द जिम्नोस्पर्म्स अगेन and it is considered as a possible ancestor of the angiosperms. They considered that the Benetites as the possible ancestor because of the similarities present in the strobilus of the Psychedioidea, which is the Mesozoic genus, or it can be the similarity with the flower of Magnolia. आता मॅग्नोलिया हा जिनस फॅमिली आपण अँजिओस्पर्म मध्ये शिकलेलो मॅग्नोलिएसी. तर मॅग्नोलिएसी सारखं इन्फ्लोरसन्स इट कॅन बी ऑब्झर्व्ड इन द स्ट्रॉबिलस ऑर द इन्फ्लोरसन्स इन द सायकेडियोइडिया. सो दिस इज द मिझोझोइक जीनस. तर ह्या सिमिलॅरिटीमुळे आपल्याला बेनिटिटिलियन थेअरी इट इज ऑल्सो कन्सिडर्ड फॉर दॅट. आता इथे जिम्नोस्पर्मचे टिपिकल लीफ बघा तुम्ही, किंवा त्याचे स्टॉक बघा, किंवा त्याचं लीफ बघा. हिअर यू कॅन फाइंड दॅट दिस इज द स्टेम लाईक स्ट्रक्चर where we can find the stem in the angiosperm. These are the leaves originated. These are nothing but the branch-like structures. A rachis can be the branch, and there we can find the presence of leaves are there. ठीक आहे. तर अशा पद्धतीनं habit is looking just like the angiosperm's origin. Even the leaf जिम्नोस्पर्म मध्ये आपण जसं लीफ बघितलेलं आहे ते अशा पद्धतीचं आहे. फॅन लाईक पाम लाईक लीव्स आर देअर. But here in Nitum, we can find that the leaf is just a angiosperm leaf-like structure. And म्हणून gymnospermous origin is quite supported with the fossil records also. What are the similarities in this Benititilian origin or the Benititales and the angiospermous group? Both the structure, that is strobilis, strobili is the plural for that, strobilus and the flower are bisexual and having the elongated central axis. Magnolia मध्ये आपण बघितलं की thalamus, conical thalamus is there which is quite elongated. On those structures there is the presence of androecium and the gynoecium. So these are the bisexual flowers in the Magnoliaceae, and the same type of the strobilus is observed in the this particular Benititilia. So this is the strobili, a flower-like structure. Then in Cycadioidea, we find the different parts like the bracts, microsporophylls and megasporophylls are arranged from the bottom towards the apex. While in Magnolia, perianth, stamens and carpels are arranged in the similar way. जसं आता आपण सांगितलं, conical thalamus, conical elongated thalamus there in the Magnolia, where we can find the calyx, corolla, androecium, gynoecium are surrounded on the or surrounded to the thalamus. So their appearance is just like the Cycadioidea, where we can find the microsporophylls and megasporophylls are arranged on the central axis. So these are the similarities between these two groups. Then in spite of having the above superficial similarities, both the groups shows the differences in the detailed investigations. And because of that, we can say these differences are technically supported, and because of that we can say that these differences like in the stem, the Benititilian stems have the thick cortex and comparatively thin vascular cylinder and a large pith, but the angiospermic plants have the thin cortex, thick vascular cylinder and a small pith. तर अशा पद्धतीनं त्याचे डिफरन्सेस आपल्याला इथे बघायला मिळतात. मायक्रोस्पोरोफिलच्या बाबतीत काय होतं, ज्याला आपण स्टेमन्स म्हणतो अँजिओस्पर्म मध्ये. In Benititales, we find the microsporophylls. Those are arranged in a whorled or the mostly connate type of the. But in Magnolia, stamens are free. They are not connate. म्हणून त्याला polyandrous condition आपण म्हटलेलं आहे. And they are spirally arranged on the axis. पण तेच microsporophylls इथं कशी आहेत, whorled फिलाटॅक्सी त्याच्यामध्ये बघायला मिळते. Then megasporophylls म्हणजे ज्याला आपण कार्पेल्स म्हणू आपल्या अँजिओस्पर्म मध्ये, ओहरी. So in Benititales, we find the megasporophylls are greatly reduced, having the simple stalk on which the single terminal ovule is present. ठीक आहे. पण तेच अँजिओस्पर्म मध्ये काय असतं, अँजिओस्पर्म मध्ये ओव्हरी आहे, त्याला लॉंग स्टाईल आहे, नंतर त्याला स्टिग्मा आहे. सो दीज आर द डिफरन्सेस. व्हॉट अबाउट द मायक्रोपायलर ट्यूब? दिस मायक्रोपायलर ट्यूब इज प्रेझेंट इन द बेनिटिटेल्स, बट सच स्ट्रक्चर इज अननोन इन अँजिओस्पर्म. अँजिओस्पर्म मध्ये असं काही नाही. स्टिग्मा आहे, स्टिग्मावर पोलन डिपॉझिट होतो, तिथून पोलन ट्यूब जनरेट होते, बट देर इज नो मायक्रोपायलर ट्यूब लाईक स्ट्रक्चर्स. द सीड्स इन द बेनिटिटेल्स आर एक्स अल्ब्युमिनस, whereas most of the angiosperms have the endospermic seeds. So these are the differences for the Benititilian origin. According to Urban and Parkin, both the groups have common origin from the seed ferns and they might have been diverse vary. Seed ferns मध्ये कुठले कुठले येतात, मग त्यांची ओरिजिन कुठली असू शकते, तर त्यांनी काय ओरिजिन डिपिक्ट केलेली आहे. They are considering that it is the seed ferns, which are the tree ferns, we can say. And later Takhtajan mentioned this classification in his classification, that Magnoliophyta are regarded to be the monophyletic in origin. Magnoliophyta has been originated in the monophyletic way and most probably derived from the Benititilin like origin or the ancestors.